Jesus. Welcome, Field Home Farm Sessions. Going to turn that down a bit. April, KJ, are you on from the CDX? Because am I being broadcast in front of everybody? You're gonna have like a Field Home Farm Sessions booth. Welcome, April 2nd. I didn't realize it had been that long since my last episode. So I apologize to all my listeners, KJ and Mystery and Roscoe and all the people that look forward to my podcast. KJ said she saw Miss Foster this morning. Well, I will get into the story of me seeing Mr. Foster and the Hammer and the Rabbit and just everybody. Haven't been here for a long time, so the first thing we got to do is sing a bit of a song for Mystery. It was his birthday on March 31st. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mystery. Happy birthday to you. He will be the ripe old age of 54, Mystery. Now, Mystery, at 54, have you thought you've done everything in your life that you wanted to do? That would be the question. As you get older and you get hit over 50, have you done everything you've wanted to do? Now, I highly doubt most people have, but some people have. Mystery, who knows? He's a mystery. He'll never tell you, anyways. But that's what we love about Mystery. So the last time I talked to you, I think I had an interview with Dirty Mike and my son Bruce, and it went very well. I try to fill in the spaces sometimes when there's a silence, but Dirty Mike is a very busy person now that he's going to be the coach next year in Markham Stouffville, which is an hour from myself. But as a double A coach in hockey, it is very demanding. You got to line up your team until you get a manager, and then you get assistant coaches, and then you got to run practices. You got a dryland training, and double A is a whole different animal, and it is intense. And these girls that play might go on to the next level as far as a college or university or um, maybe a PWHL or something like that, or Olympic team. So one or two of those might happen, and you as a coach want to be part of that. So and try to get the most out of it. And I'm assuming I won't go there, but anyways, I was going to talk not negatively, but not challengingly that I have been almost to the end of my steps and procedures to be a 4-H leader in Ontario. KJ, you'll love that since you're at a 4-H booth. I did get my police check, and I did. I know I've applied for my police check. I don't think I've got it back yet, but I did one with. I had to be. I was my son's coach a couple years ago, assistant coach on his hockey team, and I had to do a police check. And surprisingly enough, I'm clear, and so that was 2 years ago. And I think you have to do one every year. So I submitted everything, took a picture of myself with my license, and it's all online now. I think when I did the hockey one, it was a little less intense, a little less steps than the 4-H one is, but whatever. KJ sent me a picture. Let's see, KJ. You're not going to send it online, or can you send it online? I don't know. Let's see. KJ. Oh, Mary. Mary, I heard you're going in for a knee operation or something too, but I didn't know. Are you like Dr. Tim out there taking all the pictures, KJ? Oh, Emmett and Mrs. Foster's daughter, Mary. Oh, Mary. And that person beside her, I think, is just a friend. I don't know who that is, but you don't want to hear my talk about the 4-H trying to be a 4-H leader, but so I'm doing a friend. There you go. Is it Breer? Anyways, um, my talk about. So I'm doing this. So to be a 4-H leader, and you're gonna have to work with youth. And realistically speaking, since I'm a director on the chicken board, I'm now going to be a director on the Farm and Food Care Ontario. I don't know if you knew that, KJ. Our meeting is next Thursday, the annual meeting for Farm and Food Care Ontario. And as a platinum member, the Chicken Farmers of Ontario, I will be a director on the Farm and Food Care Ontario because I said, I don't think I have enough to do. What else can I do? That is one of the duties when you're on a board in an organization. You have to be on committees and different organizations associated with your organization. So it is part of your job as a director to do those things. So I'm a director on Farm and Food Care, or will be a director. And on top of that, my second daughter says I have to be a 4-H leader in the club because she's switching clubs in the same dairy club, same South Simcoe, but she's switching dairy clubs. And the only way she'd do that is she wanted me to be a leader. And I've been a leader. It was, I think, when I was 21. So that was a few years ago, probably younger, as many years ago as Mary is old. Let's put it that way. So, or maybe the rabbit, but so you have to do these. So when you're working with youth, you have to do. I don't even know what the official term is, but you have to prove that you're not a bad person when it comes to children. I'm not going to say the words. So you have to do all these quizzes and quizzes and quizzes. And I did a quiz, KJ, and I got 55%. Now in my dipper years, that was passing. You passed your course if you got 55%. But oh no, on the 4-H side of it, you have to get 80%. So needless to say, I failed that, so I have to do the test again. And the test is so fucked up because they'll give you they'll give you the question and they'll give you three answers, and then they'll give you the D, and it'll say, do you choose A and B? And it'll say, do you choose all the above, or do you choose B? And like, just give, like, why? Anyways, you shouldn't be wrong, but anyways, those are difficult. Anyways, I think I passed because I got 55, and it says you need 80. So, oh, KJ, we'll see. And I have a call today with I don't know who she is. I think I do. I asked her. She asked me the other day if I had time for an interview, and I was at. Who is the person, KJ? Do you know them? Let's see. That would be. Oh, I got a newsletter. Rebecca Vaughn, South Simcoe 4-H secretary. She says, "Would you be available to have an interview?" Oh my, interview. Where's Mystery today? Is he showing off houses or cleaning somebody's pipes? KJ, I hope you don't have this online. Emmett Foster is on. KJ just said, Emmett, that she saw Mrs. Foster this morning and sent me a picture of your daughter Mary and some other person. And are you driving to the CDX? Because you'll be just done chores right around now. Are you driving to the CDX, Emmett? Can you text if you're going with Farmer Tim today? Farmer Tim, well, I can get right into it, but I was going to talk about a bunch of other stuff, but right now I'll get into it because I had my DC, there's a district committee representative meeting as the directors of Chicken Farmers of Ontario. We go to the meetings, interact with everybody, basically bring forth all their ideas, and we bring it to the board, and we have topics, and Roscoe's on to, Roscoe. Are you not out pruning the apple trees today, Roscoe? It's a little chilly on the willy today, but is the sap flowing, Hubie Jen? That's what I want to ask too. But before I do that, so I had the DCR meeting yesterday, and we were done fairly early. And I called Emmett, and I said, I'm driving home. Where are you? I was going to stop in for a beer. And then he said he's at the Swag Hammers, because Swag Hammer, the hammer, just built a brand new robot barn that milks, I'm going to say 45, 50 cows in a robot. So what was when I had the interview with Scottish Jim, it's like he is on a farm that produces milk, but he doesn't milk cows anymore. So I was standing there watching, and the hammer's son, Alex, the cow was being a little bit sensitive and he put the milker on her by hand, and I said, hey, that's milking by hand. You're not supposed to do that, but whatever. So, Roscoe, you missed my very intense, I wouldn't say negative, but very intense criticizing of the procedures of trying to get into a 4-H leader. Should be a little bit simpler. Sometimes it's just like, do it like, okay, so here's one part of it. I did 3 references. So KJ was one of my references. Um, Mrs. Foster is one of my references, and then another person was one of my references, the other leader. So you got those references to say how good a person you are. That's good. Now, next thing you know, I'm gonna have an interview or like a talk with this person for a half hour about whatever, and you have to do these sensitive questions, and you have to do a police check. It's like, KJ, like where does it end? I mean, like, isn't it a little bit too intense? Have they had a bad record of this, or is this just whatever? I get it to a point, but it's a little bit too intense when you apply for the hockey coach and all they do is take a police check and then you're good to coach, and you work with young people too. And they say also on the 4-H part, which is understandable, you cannot be just you and another person somewhere. Like, it's got to be, you got to have 2 people. So if you're having a talk with a younger person about something, you cannot go around the corner and talk to the person. So you weren't listening, KJ. I don't know what I said anyways. Thanks, KJ. So you're on my podcast, but you're not listening. It's like when you drive by my laneway and say, "Oh, I drove by your laneway," and I'm like, "If you didn't stop in, don't tell me you drove by my laneway, KJ. Just pretend that you're listening. How's that? And listen later. How's that?" So we stopped in at Swackhammer's new barn, brand new robot barn. I think he milks about around 55, and I think he built the barn big enough to milk about 110 because he has a spot for another robot, which is smart. And if I was doing it, I would do 2 robots for like 45 cows. And then if one robot broke, you got 2 robots. That's how you do it, right, Roscoe? Farmer Tim, if you're with Emmett right now, listen to what I'm saying. Put 2 robots in, even if you have 45 or 65 cows. Scottish Jim, who has a lot of money but works for it. I'm not jealous. I'm not criticizing. Very good business economic guy. Put 2 robots in, and if one shuts off in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock, you're not running out to do it. You just worry about the other one. So in that area, everybody except for Emmett is putting a robot in. So we got Swackhammer, who is very progressive. He's got the robot done. Has a vet business also. That does help your income. Um, Farmer Tim has the stakes in. I think he's going to do it. I don't know. I've been kind of doing the Facebook thing once in a while. She says, sorry, I wasn't listening. That's fine, KJ. So Farmer Tim, I look at his Facebook post the odd time, and it's kind of up. It's kind of, you can't read what he's saying, because one time you say, "Well, you're going to build it." Next thing you say, "You like the old barn." I don't know, Farmer Tim. What are you doing? So let's just build the barn. And if you're having trouble, when I drove by yesterday, because I drove Emmett home from Swackhammers, because little rabbit had to go and feed. So I drove by, and Farmer Tim has the stakes, and apparently he dug down and there's too much water in the one spot. So he has to put an above ground manure pit where that is, and I think that's a disaster. But whatever, I'm not doing it. I'm just giving you my opinion. So there's no holes dug or nothing. You can switch the barn. You don't have to have it exactly where, because there's always stuff that you always run into a bunch of problems sometimes. So, but that's his barn, his money, his stuff. Do what you like, do what makes you happy, and get it done. Right, Emmett? I still think you should build that barn on the line of your because Farmer Tim and Emmett are, their land touches each other. I said, just build a barn where you can open the one end, and then Emmett builds a barn on the other side, and then you just have a feed cart that goes one through and feeds the whole herd. 2 herds, 2 different bulk tanks, because that's the way Dairy Farmers of Ontario does it. And then just feed the cows. And then if Emmett wants to go away, the cows get fed. If Tim wants to go away, the cows get fed. It will work, I swear. So yeah, Swackhammer is very progressive, but he has jerseys, Emmett. Jerseys. I know. Unedited at the CDX. Are you going to the CDX, Emmett? You're not letting me know. You're not texting me nothing, but hold on. Unedited, and the coffee has run out, so now it's on to water. So on the last I talked to you, like I said, had the interview with Dirty Mike, my son Bruce. So then after that, the next day, the barn was ready. Got the chicks in. And let's just put it this way. The chicks have not performed as good as they should. A little bit more mortality than they have to. So we took some to the vet. and they analyzed them, and they had a bit of E. coli and whatnot. So the one barn is getting antibiotics. And if I've said it before in the past, I said cows get antibiotics if they have mastitis. Different animals, a beef cow get antibiotics if they get sick. You do not. A human will get antibiotics if you don't want it to get sick and die. Organic, I'm not going to cut them up. I'm just going to say organic doesn't do everything that you think they do, and conventional sometimes looks after their animals better. And so they get a bit of antibiotics. They will turn around hopefully because it'll kill all the E. coli in the birds that are still healthy because they might have a trace of E. coli. So that antibiotics will take that all out of it. And they are 1 week tomorrow old. So in 4 weeks, the antibiotics will be gone. Like, I think it's a 4-day withdrawal on the antibiotic. Every antibiotic label has a withdrawal, and the withdrawal is 4 days. So I'm pretty sure 28 days, the chickens will be fine. KJ's gone because she's at the CDX serving grilled cheese, Emmett. I had grilled cheese. Like, if I have lunch, and I'm a meat eater, and so's Roscoe, and so's Emmett, but if I have lunch, I would like some meat with my lunch. And the 4-H booth has grilled cheese, which is lovely, but there should be some other place to have some meat. Now, if you have a hot dog, that's kind of meat, but not really. But you in your brain, you think it is. So hamburger, hot dog. Yesterday we had a beautiful lunch for our DCR meeting at the Delta in Guelph, and it was roast beef. It was just amazing. Um, my wife was away. When did I do that? I did the 318. But anyways, my wife was away at a dance competition with my daughter. My daughter got first in one of the competitions, which is friggin' awesome. She is a great. When my middle daughter gets focused, she focuses on winning, and she does want a winning calf. I said that's not the same as your dance or whatever. I said it's hard and it costs a lot of money to get a winning calf. And there's many steps to it. I'm going to try to get you the best calf possible, but we'll see what happens. But she won one of her dance competitions. Awesome. They got home late. And what does my daughter do on the Monday? Misses school again because she's tired. School doesn't seem to matter anymore. It's all about the hockey or competitions and whatnot. So my youngest daughter, the hockey daughter, had an exhibition game against the Etobicoke Dolphins, which, whatever. And they were a rough team. Apparently, they play a lot of boys' teams, but rough and dirty in hockey is two different things. So this team was very dirty, got lots of penalties. It's bad news, but it's not that bad if I keep talking. So my daughter goes in. Once in a while, she'll take off. She takes off, goes in the boards with the puck, goes around. Some other girl was with her. She went by her, and another girl comes in and nails her with a hit. Bangs up her elbow. I thought from the onset, from watching in the stands, was a concussion. Thankfully, I'll tell you right now, it was not a concussion. So if a younger kid gets a concussion, it is worse than breaking your arm or leg because it takes a long time, and depending on the concussion, it takes a long time to heal. So back in the day, Roscoe, how many concussions did we have? And you just drive on. But nowadays, we know what's going on, so we want our kids to be healthy. So long and short of it, wasn't a concussion. She bruised her elbow pretty bad, so we put ice on it. My wife took her to the hospital. I don't know why when she came back. I thought she was okay. I know. I'm just saying it wasn't broke. It was bruised. I know she wanted to be 100% sure of it, but whatever. It was a bruise. And then when I was at the meeting on Tuesday night, she had a practice, and it was fine apparently. So she's good that way. Hockey is winding down into April, but thankfully this team that my daughter's on has gone basically as far as they can go in hockey, minor hockey. They went to the final series of the playoffs, and they had right before one game. I got into all that before. They one game away from winning it all. And they made the provincials as well, which is the final tournament of the year. So they made it as far as you can go. They were practice tonight, a couple more practices. It's Easter this weekend. Happy Easter. I don't know if I'll do an episode on Easter, but everybody will be listening then because it's Easter. Are all your kids home, Roscoe, for Easter? That'd be a good question to ask. But so They have a couple more practices, and next weekend in Brampton at Aaron Cliff Arena. Hold on, I'm going to give you the exact date so Mystery can come watch. KJ said Mystery was going to. I think KJ, you said you're in Toronto, so you're going to come watch. The schedule is up. They play the North Halton Twisters at 8:15 a.m. April 10th at Aaron's Cliff Recreational Center. Actually, all their games are Aaron's Cliff Recreational Center. They also play at 1:15 in the afternoon at Aaron's Cliff. So on the Friday, so they miss school, and then the Saturday they play at 1:15 at Aaron's Cliff. And these are some good teams. They play North Halton, London, and then Clarington. So it's going to be a tough provincials, but like I said, they made it. They're guaranteed 3 games. They might actually get 4 because of consolations if they don't win. But if they win, they might actually play 5. So it's all good. Roscoe says all his kids are home. 2 of them got their wisdom teeth out yesterday. What the heck? How old? When did I get my wisdom teeth out? I only had 2 wisdom teeth, which tells you a lot. I didn't think I got them out till I was like 30 something. So I don't know. I don't even know why I got them out. I don't think they were hurting. I think my dentist wanted some money at the time. So you gave him the day off work today. Well, you're a good boss, Roscoe. Chick delivery, yeah. So I got in my chick delivery, it didn't go well. So now they're on this one Barnes antibiotics, and it should come around. But like that's your job as a chicken farmer, to always observe your chickens, make sure they're going healthy, make sure if you look in your chicken barn, they're walking a bit funny or not looking the best, then there's something wrong. You take them to the vet. You have to use antibiotics in Ontario or maybe in Canada. I don't know. It's not like that every other country. You have to take your animals to the vet. You can't just go. It used to be when we were kids or in their teens, 20s, you would just go to a TSC or a co-op, buy antibiotics, get them, bring in, use them on your animals. Nowadays, which is it, it seems like it seems a lot more difficult. I want to say it seems stupid the way they do it now, but if you look back in the day, you would say it was stupider then. You just go to the store, you buy antibiotics, you give it to them. I don't know if it was chickens as well. I think it was actually, but you would get 4 or 5. I used to get Farmers Pharmacy, and you just order like 4 or 5 bottles of penicillin, keep it on in your shelf in the fridge, and use it when you had to use it. So and kept track of everything. And I don't think it was a bad thing. But nowadays, with all the sensitive people, now you have to take your animals to the vet, chickens for sure, and then if they dissect them and find nothing wrong, they're not going to prescribe antibiotics. But if they do, like they did with mine, then they give you antibiotics. You cannot use antibiotics unless the vet tells you can. So that is how the world works. Cows as well. When Swacker comes, you can't just say, "Give me antibiotics because this cow's sick." Even if you're a smart farmer like Emmett, or when Mystery was, you can't just say, "Give me antibiotics because this cow's sick. I know what she needs." You have to call SWAC or your vet, get them diagnose the animal, and then give them antibiotics. It's not like it used to be, but I don't know why. They used to have this arrow something crumbles that when you're heifers, they're usually on the heifers the most. If the up and down temperatures like it's going to be the next couple weeks, the cows will start to get a bit of lung trouble, and they start coughing a bit, the heifers. So you would give them these aerobiotic crumbles that you would buy. They have some medication and antibiotics in them. You sprinkle on top of your corn or the grain you're giving your cows or the heifers, and they would just like no time get cleared of their illness. Now, apparently, you just got to let them cough. I said, well, I don't know what's better. I actually know what's better. The other way was better, but and yesterday, I have the Swackers barn, so that was a good tour. Yesterday, I was talking to Johnny O because Scottish Jim was over, and it's the first time I'd seen Johnny O. And Johnny O said he listened to the podcast. Thank you very much, Johnny O, for listening. That was an awesome a promotion to everybody. If you are listening, I know Roscoe comments on the show, which is awesome because he's always my live listener, but if you are listening, somebody besides Hubie Jen, even though I love hearing from Hubie Jen or comments, I would like someone else to comment on my episodes. I think I'm doing a decent enough job on the episodes, but at the same time, it is very reassuring of comments, positive or negative, on my episodes, just to say, you like it, you don't like it, whatever, change this, change that. And that helps. So if Johnny O is listening, and I only talk to him once in a while, give me a text, give me a call, see what happens. Give me some comments. I'm pretty sure that sap should be running out by now on the trees, but I don't know when they're gonna. It's gonna be cold next year or next week, so I'm just wondering. Up and down temperatures, cold at night, warm during the day. Hubie Jen sent me a picture of getting beer at Costco because she was going to Costco after the meeting. We did not have lunch together, Hubie Jen. Now, not just her and I together, but all the DCRs. They sit down, they have lunch with everybody. We did not have lunch together, but next meeting she said we're going to. So let's see, Hubie Jen. Hubie Jen went to Costco, and EV loves his Michelob Ultra, and she said the beer is on sale for $46 a case at Costco, so grab you a few. I bought, my beer of choice is Busch Regular, full Busch. It is, I think it was $48, $49, and you get $3 off. You buy 2 cases, which I always buy. So you're down to 45 plus. So actually speaking, the beer store is cheaper than Costco. You know what happens, Hubie Jen? I know Hubie Jen will be listening to this later, and I know it's convenient-ish, but what happens with these big retailers like Costco and Walmart and even gas stations who sell beer is they get you in with a cheaper price, the same as the Walmart model. They put beer stores out of business, and then come in cheap. So everybody goes, oh, it's more convenient to go to the convenience store and the Walmart and all this other stuff. And then they put the beer stores out of business, which they have in a lot of towns. Now, Schaumburg's beer store, I cannot defend them because they're a bunch of idiots. They would be open like 6 o'clock on a weekday, and they just had the stupidest hours ever. Well, guess what now? They don't have a job. So they closed down, and thankfully the one in Bradford's still open, my hometown beer store. So you have to take your empties back somewhere, so it's good that way. But long and short of the story is Walmart's, Costco's, gas stations lowered their price to get the business, and now that they put a lot of beer stores and gas stations a lot of beer stores out of business, now they've jacked the price. So realistically, Hubie Jen, that Costco beer is no cheaper than you can get at the beer store. So that is the way it is. And if you buy, like I say, if you buy 60, not that I'm an alcoholic, but if you buy 60, you get $3 off each case. So think about that. I remember somebody, it was years and years ago, I saw somebody at the beer store and I had 2 cases. They had like a 6 or a 12. And they say, oh, you like to drink a lot? I said, actually, no, I'm buying it to have. I said, if you come in and buy a 12 and then you come in later in the week to buy another 12, who's drinking more? I don't know. On that note, we're getting to the 28. I got to get going. I got other stuff. I got to do this 4-H stuff. I got to do my vulnerable sector. I think that's the word. Vulnerable sector leadership and form. Shout out to everybody. Get that robot barn built, Emmett. Get the robot barn built, Farmer Tim. And we'll talk to you later. Thank you for listening today. I had a big spiel about some other stuff, but I will do that next episode. Maybe on Easter. Who knows? Thanks for listening, boys. And